I'm chasing down my
There you are.
man.
It wasn't letting me load you on there for a second.
Oofda. We're here. We made it.
Yep.
We made it. We made it. We made it.
Swish. You're usually on this side.
Well, and I was gonna dress up today. I didn't get done.
I'm doing my Freddy Krueger again.
I love it.
My one dog got totally freaked out. I came downstairs dressed like this, and I wear hats. It's not like I never wear a hat. And she just got all freaked out and ran away from me. Yep. But we are here, and we got a lot of people in the chat already, so it's really good.
And I need to share it on my thing. Pretty sure it already popped up on my thing. No, it didn't. Why doesn't it? That's okay. I'll look up Slozer. I'll be on his thing.
Okay. The ears are looking weird here. I'm trying to adjust it before we start talking. Hello, everyone.
Facebook.
So how's your week been so far?
We are doing our best. The royal we. Isn't that horrible? It's been crazy. Work has been kind of crazy. It's just been wild.
Gotcha.
What about you?
No, not too bad. I did a lot of self-care yesterday because I knew it was going to be a water day, and it was a water day.
How did it go?
I didn't do a whole lot, and now my dogs are going to start going nuts, which they always do, which is pissing me off. So it was good. Laid low. I'm getting ready to head out of town, so you'll be on your own next Tuesday.
Oh, that's right. You're going to leave me hanging all by myself, all by my lonesome, which not that I've not done that before, guys. You guys know that I do podcasts by myself, but the astrology one, I like having the dynamic with Matt going back and forth. So you guys are definitely going to have to join me next week when I kick it solo and do my best. Maybe I'll even play parts. I could do that, like Mystery Science Theater. But yeah, it's been a crazy week. It's work, also children, also I don't know if I might share it on my private social media. I had a really interesting spiritual experience just yesterday.
Oh wow.
At Applebee's of all places.
Oh wow.
Where my children have been struggling with a bully for a while. Like my youngest has been coming home with blood all over his face and dripping down his shirt. And, we're in a pretty small town now. So I know the bus driver. We get the bus driver involved and we try and handle it, in that chain of command and try and deal with it. But it's been a consistent issue. And so we've kind of struggled with it. And family, we're out to Applebee's. My kids love their classic cheeseburger. So they had helped us clean out the studio and did a really great job helping. And we said, where do you want to go? We'll take you wherever you want to go. It's Applebee's. So we go to Applebee's and we sit down and we just get our meal. And all of a sudden I see a family come and sit down right next to us. And there's this very loud young child that comes barreling down, screaming up to the table. And I make eye contact and my kids stop. And the kid stops and everyone kind of stopped. And then he sat down and my kids went, that's the bully on the bus. That was the bully. And so we finished our meal. They ate. I listened and watched the family dynamic. And I could see it.
Okay.
And so on our way out, I could hear my grandfather speaking to me. It was really weird. And my grandfather's passed away, by the way. And it was one of those you need to act. You need to do something.
Apologize. I'm going to mute. You go ahead and talk. I'm going to mute.
Oh, you're fine. But it was you need to do something. You need to say something. What can you do? And we were sitting there, and I am really blessed. I have a really wonderful husband, and I was able to kind of make eye contact with him at the table. I was like, man, I just really feel my grandfather speaking to me right now. And I feel compelled to like leave money for them and pay for their meal. And my husband just looked at me and was like, okay. And so we did on our way out. And they were still eating because they got there after us. And we didn't say anything. We didn't, you know, engage them in any way or disrupt their meal. And in the parking lot on the way out, I like was really heavy chested. I felt like I was going to cry. And my kids were like, why did we do that? Why did we do that? And it was like, because you're kind to people, you know? and and maybe they'll be like, who was that? And why did they do that? Or like, how can we repay that energy? Or maybe nothing. Maybe nothing at all. But I just felt like my grandpa wanted me to do something, and that is how we chose to engage in that space. And I was really happy that my kids were like, "Oh, no, that makes sense." And I was like, "Good. I'm glad that makes sense because, you can either respond with anger or you can just be nice to them and hope that they join you. And we'll see how it goes. And maybe nothing happens." And I don't think anything happened. But it was just really weird to be at Applebee's and have that moment. And my husband, the whole time, he didn't know what was going on until we were in the car. And I was like, that was the kid that's been punching our children in the face. And he was like, oh, that makes sense now. I was like, yeah. And it was just weird that and then I have to take it to the next level. And I wish I had my wallet here. It's out in the car. We drove to Target next afterwards. And we do Target, and we on the way out, I get a coffee. And the Starbucks people were putting sticky notes on people's cups on the way out, which is kind of a weird thing to be doing during COVID. But anyway, I was talking, the lady, she noticed that my mascara was running. Oh, are you having an okay day? I said, I'm actually having a really decent day. I just had a really weird experience at Applebee's. She's like, oh, that's interesting. And I was like, yeah, and she's like, well, I like your lip ring. And I was like, oh, thank you, for being so kind. And she's like, well, I just, absolutely. And we had a weird, like, awkward pause. I ordered my thing, and then I came around and I got my cup and I peeled a sticky note off, and it said, random acts of kindness aren't for the people receiving, it's for the people giving. And like, I handed it to my husband when we got in the car, and he was like, what? And I was like, this is how the universe is speaking to me. It was just kind of a weird validation moment. And I thought, man, and then we talked about it on the ride home. And I felt like, dang, I'm just really happy that that experience happened, and maybe something will come of it or maybe not. And I was happy that, I mean, my kids are still pretty young, so I don't know if it, leaves lasting impressions or not. But for me, it was, I've been really angry at this I mean, you hate to admit that, right? You hate to be angry at a little kid. But I've been really angry at whoever this little kid was punching my kids. And I thought, I'm going to get on the bus and shake this little hoodlum and get angry and point my finger. And it's different when you see it, when you see the family sitting across from you. So it just was a weird moment, but it really panned out well. So anyway, I didn't intend to share that for a whole 4 minutes, but it was a really interesting experience. So Katie, Monica, Steph, Kendra, all of you guys joining us from all the different areas of the earth, thank you for letting me share that weird experience. And you guys are sharing that you joined us this Sunday with our card readings and the playback, and then now seeing how it has panned out. Man, if that is still up on the internet, on the Paranormal channel too. That card tarot thing that we did, I think we're going to try and do it again, maybe even on Halloween or sometime very soon. That was crazy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll try hopping off here. We got people. We're getting ready for vacation, so there's a lot of activity going on. So it's noisier than normal. So
it's a real life thing.
And then people don't realize until they find out that their conversation is going across YouTube, which I always find funny when I play this back and hear full conversations from people going, "Little do they know, my microphone picks up word by word from other rooms." So yeah, so.
It's the same way in my house. My husband and his studio microphones.
There was one. It was a quite humorous conversation from my daughter once on one of the Sunday Night Dead ones that came through. That was quite interesting. So yeah, the cards we were getting were crazy. We get the same card.
I wish I was better at math.
We get cards in sequence. I'd pull a 9 of Wands. You'd pull a 10 of Wands. It just we were definitely in sync. So, and actually we've done some of that stuff, just on our own, when we have done experiments together and have had things. So there's definitely good synergy when we do these things. So I think we definitely have to keep doing them.
Yeah. And it's just freaky. And it's like I said, I wish I was better at math to be able to be like, the probability of that happening is 1 in 82,000 or whatever it is, because it's so unlikely for that to happen. You have 52 plus 22, you have a full deck and then my deck and so it was just kind of cool to be able to see that live and to share that with people, because it does happen privately, but the validation to be able to have it happen live and to have the cards make sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we had 3 or 4 people on the chat already say that they felt we got their reading. So cool. Very good. And I'll say that I nailed that, and I got to add, because I know it's funny. I ran into this in Pisces season. I ran into this in Scorpio season. So I'm just going to go ahead and say this disclaimer. When I say that I'm uncomfortable with water and that I kind of go, when it's a water thing, I am by no means bashing water signs.
Yeah, you are.
Or anything water. No, I'm not. I just, I know I'll have, actually, I think you attract what you lack. So I actually have lots of, particularly Cancer, and it probably goes in order: Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, in that order. But so there's lots of friends and people I know that are water signs. So all I say is that when there's a lot of water, I know I'm going to have a rough day. And so that Cancer, Scorpio aspect on Monday, I knew ahead of time. I already had like these weird emotional, I wouldn't call them nightmares. It was just like dreams of stuff that just had me. So I woke up already kind of, and then I knew it was going to be like a grind yesterday. So I kept it real low. It was a lot of self-care. Didn't do anything overly strenuous or emotional, and kind of powered through it. So
I love that. That's the goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys felt it, right? But that's the sun that moved into Scorpio. So it's, use our Dana Carvey fingers, officially Scorpio season. And that's kind of a big deal, because that's a water space and it's poison. It's water that life or death, right? Claws or scorpion butts, pinchers or tails. It could come from either end. So you have to be very careful. And it's just a lot of people feeling, maybe taking things personally, past lives, introspection, deep self-work, exaggeration, charm, things like that. Sacrifice, intensity, all the things.
It always kind of swings back and forth. So I was just say, whereas Libra was much more, even though you were it was agendas. It's agendas through people. So I feel like it's more like a dispersed energy. Scorpio is out of the 12 the most intense energy. I think it's water, and it's fixed water, so it's intense. And then you're gonna get to Sag next, and Sag is like, hey, whatever, it's just
light it on fire.
Yeah. It's
put another fire with gasoline.
Chris Farley or Belushi in Animal House. It's just we're gonna go from that intensity to just bungee jumping and shit.
Yeah, let's do this. Yeah. So it's about to get crazy. It is crazy. It's about to go deep. It's depth. Overdosing, alcoholics, addiction, this kind of crap. Real heavy right now. Real heavy. So the feeling or the desire to want to be avoidant, like the I'm not doing I'm not doing that. Like that is happening right now. It's
So
not you.
Steph says she's a Sag moon. So what I would say, that's your internal emotional self. I would describe that as Sag is the explorer. Sag is the, so not knowing you, I would say you're probably very emotionally open and open to new things, new experiences, maybe a little daring. It's Sag. It's the expansive, it's the explorer, it's the bungee jumper, it's the willing to try things, but it's more thought through and intentional. Whereas like Aries, I always say it's like the screw it, just do it. Sagittarius is more of like a plan. If you ever have those people that it's like, I just travel all over the world and just it's the experience.
I
I
think
live
of
for
the
the
guy on
experience, not stuff.
Transylvania.
That's kind of Sag. That's kind of Sag energy.
You know the Transylvania kid, no, totally. I like to go to hostels on my own, man. It's totally the experience in Transylvania. The
Yeah.
kid, like that's a Sagittarius to me.
Yep. Yep.
Very like, or even maybe a Taurus, but a Taurus Sagittarius kind of mix.
Yep.
Anyway, all right, guys, let's get into this. Let's get into
Oh, I want to say
this.
before I get any bad message, I'm not saying they are that Sag is like a jackass thing now. I'm just saying they're
Or
open
maybe you
to
are.
experiences and they're open to try things, and it's kind of like a life of the party energy in my opinion. Well, Geminis are too. So Gemini is like the social life of the party.
You don't have to walk on eggshells.
Sagittarius is fire, so it's like the life of the
Burning
party that's gonna like do crazy. They're just gonna do stuff.
They're gonna. I think of Chunk from Goonies. Here,
Okay.
Chunk, hold this. What? Crash. Aw. It's like you just kind of expect, and that doesn't, I'm not meaning like, yeah. Anyway, before we put our foot in our mouth too much further, you guys, we're not, that's fine. They can be the bow and arrow, says Brianna. Yes, and that's kind of why I do that. That Sagittarius, I'm always thinking of that half mythic creature out doing stuff. Very much so. But Wednesday, let's get into this because this is going to be a really crazy week, and it's the last week in October, and like we said, it's Scorpio season. So tomorrow's Wednesday. Tomorrow's Hump Day. It's already here. We're already halfway through. So we got that going for us, right? And what's going to happen? Well, water, water and yin energy. When we're doing these alchemy equations, Matt, you and I,
Yeah.
the moon is in Cancer, and that is opposite Pluto and Capricorn. What do you think?
So I always think opposite, not the way you opposite. I always think of it's like two poles. So it's opposites attract, and they also kind of complete. So like the one side, there's 6 pairs. So in this case, it's Cancer and Capricorn. The other sign kind of has all the things that the other sign lacks. So on one end, they complete each other, but on the other end, it's also the things that, maybe will bother you because it's all the things opposite of how you would do things. And so in this case, you have moon in its home sign of Cancer. So it's emotional, but it's emotional around security. Again, just think of, the crab carries its home on its back, hard shell outside, protecting mushy soft inside. Opposite, so it has tension with Pluto, which is impersonal. It's big change. It's impersonal change. It doesn't give a crap. In a fairly impersonal sign of Capricorn, kind of the CEO sign, the goat climbing the mountain, wanting to see the next mountain, achievement. We don't care about maybe the emotional toll on things. We just want to get crap done. And so you have this tension of these big impersonal changes, just wanting to get shit done having tension with your inner emotional world wanting to feel secure. And so I view this as almost like energies out there in the world may feel a little intimidating and threatening to your emotional security. So it's maybe another good self-care day tomorrow. The world may seem like a scary place tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. You know what scene I think of? I don't want to date myself here, but I'm going to share a link in the YouTube. So for those of you joining us in other areas of the internet, I'm going to share this in the YouTube link. But if you are at all a visual person like myself, which most of us are, The Princess Bride, I know, dates me just a hair. But if you can take yourself to the torture scene, you know, a definitive look. And I want you to be totally honest with me. But I want you to be totally honest with how the machine makes you feel. And they hook him up to the machine and they crank it and it's just at a 1 and I have just erased 1 year of your life. And this scene, it's a torture scene. It's a very important scene in the movie, but also just I think for human psychology. It's hilarious, it's stubborn, it's sarcastic, and this is the feeling that I get for tomorrow. Tumultuous. So I'm sharing it in the chat. If you are not a Princess Bride, you need to watch that movie tomorrow. Just maybe stay in and watch that movie. That would be a good thing. But anyway, it's funny that you said pull. The very first thing you said was pull, because I have in my Gypsy Tribe cheat, resist being pulled into a power struggle that doesn't include you. Ding dong. You're never going to believe.
I try to tune this stuff out, but I feel like tomorrow will be one of those days where everybody starts sharing all these like gloom and doom articles, that things you have absolutely no control over, but will just make you feel insecure, which I always try to just tune all that crap out, because if there's nothing I can do about it, then I'm not going to worry about it until it's in my face. So there's no need expending emotional energy worrying about crap I can't do anything about. But I feel that's like, and who knows, maybe something will even happen news-wise tomorrow that'll get all this, the sky is falling, the sky is falling.
Don't say that. It'll happen. No, it will happen.
I feel it's going to be, that's just the vibe I get, that it's kind of like, it's going to be this energy of the world's a big scary place, even if it's not. It's just going to be that kind of vibe.
You heard it here, folks, on Astrology and Alchemy. So I'm not kidding. So then it's the next day, Thursday, October 28th. Man, it's going to be the almost end of October. Thursday.
It's my favorite month of the year.
I love it. It's so sad, man. They've already got Christmas out.
No.
It makes me so angry. I am that person in the meme that's like huffing. Like, why is this here? Why are you?
I rage on this here, and this seems to be more of a North Carolina thing. This didn't happen back in Pennsylvania. It'll be Veterans Day, and everybody will have all their stuff up.
I can't handle it.
And then December 26th, people would be tearing all their crap down. And I'm like, it goes to like the middle of January. Maybe if you don't get tired of it, maybe don't put your stuff up so early. But again, that's my own pet peeve. That's my own illness on that, but it drives me.
I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of a 30-day person. Like, I put my Christmas tree up the day after Thanksgiving. I start prepping for Thanksgiving like the day after Halloween. But like, I get to the one before I do the next. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Man, anyway, it's an ordeal. And people in the chat room are like, you never know what might happen. People might be shooting people with fake guns tomorrow. Who knows? Anyway, it's going to be Thursday. And we will have an idea of what happens on Wednesday because of the way the dominoes fall on Thursday. So on Thursday, it will be two things happen, at least two things. The first thing that's going to happen is it's going to be a fourth quarter moon. So it's a waning moon, guys. It's minimizing, and it's in Leo. Moving into that fire space. And I don't know, I kind of get a little, I don't want to say I get a little nervous, but Leo, what do you think?
So this was the Libra new moon, right? We're still in the Libra cycle.
Right.
So we're winding down the Libra cycle.
Winding down, and it's that fourth quarter.
So we went from Libra, this diplomacy thing, to The first quarter would have been Cap, which again is what do I want to accomplish through this diplomacy and things. Then you get to Aries where you actually do it. I think it was in Cap the first. Well, anyway. So now we're in Leo. I view this as this is now energy shifting from maybe things I wanted to do, but having this fair balance to others to now it's about me. So the emotional energy is shifting more, a little more I don't mean this in a negative way, just more self-centered. The focus may have been on others and balance with yourself still involved to now be more about how's this crap affecting me.
Narcissism is back in town. Clean up, clear out, creative explosions, fine-tuning of unresolved self-care. Give to self. Self-empowerment. Worry about yourself. Your favorite treat. Your favorite offering. Because we're coming up on that Halloween space. So putting something out for your loved ones, remembering that humble space of what it is to be alive, giving your gifts to others for whatever reason. Leo, the shadow work is, of course, to give to others what you would give to self. So to try and keep the balance a little bit. But you're going to feel that emotional shift. And I think that's going to be a good feeling. Thank heavens. Thinking about other people, worrying about other people. What is that person doing? Is this going to be okay? Is that person going to be okay? For me, it's been thinking a lot about my dad. It's been thinking a lot about my kids being bullied. It's been thinking, just not on me. And that can be an anxious thing if your brain is busy on things you cannot control. And other people are definitely something you can't control. So it's been kind of an anxious space for that reason. So it's going to feel less anxious. That's Thank you. Thank you, universe. And then a little later that day, something else is going to happen. Ooh, ooh. Just as you take that moment, as often happens, when you love yourself or care about yourself or put effort into yourself, what's the first thing that happens? That person you've been worried about or that thing that you've been thinking about that's been avoiding you, Venus, vagina, moves into Sagittarius, fire, which is sextile, harmonious, hey, to Jupiter, cocaine, in Aquarius. What?
This is a good combo. This is a fun combo. I wish this was happening. Well, there'll be some Halloween parties on Thursday, so this is good. This is good Halloween party energy because, as we already mentioned, Sagittarius is open to new experiences and kind of the explorer and the adventurer. And so we have Venus, so we have romantic exploration and adventure and willing to try new things. Sextile is remove obstacles. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, so Jupiter's all about opportunity. And so I always say it's that car pulling up and the door opening up. And Aquarius is all about independence, innovative, kind of doing your own thing outside the box. So you got romantic exploration aligning with opportunity to do things that are outside the box and outside the rules and outside. So this could go in lots of different situations. It can either be some unique situations with known people or a new situation with somebody different.
30,000.
There's another one where I'd say, and I think I ran into this with Venus and Sag earlier. I'm like, it's one of these, be careful how much you drink.
Yeah, don't do that on Thursday.
Because there's going to be there's going to be an energetic nudge to maybe do something that you might not really want to do. So just be aware of that.
Yeah, don't do it. I mean, or do it. It depends. It depends. It depends. It depends. It depends on so many things. Like you said, the love and bonding is going to be happening a lot here. Love and hate, cord cutting. If you believe in that sort of thing, which trust me, you should, because it's entanglement. If the idea of new friends, old friends, new loved ones, more love, less love, spreading love, fun adventures, social skills, all that stuff. The removal of obstacles is the suggestion that water moves just a little quicker. Woo! It's like being on a piece of wax paper going down the slides in Kansas City in the haunted houses.
This is like major hookup energy, really.
I know.
Just to be real simple. This is
Careful.
so if you're inclined that way, or put yourself in that situation if that's what you want. But if you don't want that, stay away from those situations because big energetic nudge on Thursday towards that stuff.
Matter of fact, I might even add that to rituals. Hooks. Ooh. Hooks or clamps. Ooh. That's a powerful word. So we'll definitely add that. Okay. Now, depending on what happens, and we of course see ourselves in these spaces, we see our people and people in and around our lives, and we go, okay, Brianna, you win all the bonus points for the day, by the way. It is the Skeksis.
I want to add, and maybe we'll just throw this out here. If we have anyone that watches the show that actually is a bartender or owns a bar, I would love that kind of third party that because I would love to just kind of hang out. Like if I had more time, which I don't, I'd love to like just go and be like a fly on the wall, observing interactions in like a bar with these different days and these different energies, and just see how much difference you see in what you observe. Because this Thursday would be this would be an interesting fly on the wall day.
You know what? I can't. Well, sure I can. I have great ideas all the time. You know what would be a really cool show? What if, that show, What Would You Do or What Would They Do, where they're like watching people under private cameras?
Yeah.
It would be interesting just to watch people's interactions and have psychics talking about like, well, the astrology is in this, so you're going to be seeing people interact in this way. Like it would be really interesting to have psychics or psychologists or even a group of behavioral specialists like talking about how people move in a room.
Yeah.
Especially for social like language. Anyway, my brain goes into weird places. We're going to know what happens on Thursday night based on Friday. I have a new shirt that I found that says I love Friday, and the fry is actual fries. So I'll be wearing that on Friday. And on that day, something's going to happen. Astrologically, the moon will be in Leo. Okay. Kind of knew that already, though. But that it's going to be, oh no. It's a Mercury issue. So that's why I say that. And it's Mercury in Libra. But Mercury's direct in Libra. But it's on a Friday. Ugh. How do you see that happening?
First, you know me enough that I'm OCD enough about this. I'll have to talk to Katie's thing about my outfit. So I wore this for 3 hours yesterday. I just threw this on for the show. So no, the sweater has not been laundered, but I got a black shirt on versus a white shirt. And I did that very deliberately so people would see that it's a different shirt. He is a
clean guy.
So,
yeah.
Not a hat. The hat's the hat.
It's not a hobo.
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger washes his
thank you, Shady, for like triggering a little OCD there. I had to like call that. I had to call out.
You were prepared for
my hygiene habits. Well, I mean, I think of it. You know me well enough, and I joke around with. I don't know if Macy's still on, but how vain I am. But yes, I even did a drastic color change underneath.
And make sure you can see it.
Yeah, you can see it. It was white on Sunday. It's black today. All right, so back to the moon in Leo. So we talked about this a little bit with the moon energy. So it is Leo's interesting because it gets the kind of the king, the ruler, wants the spotlight, but it's also very generous. So it's kind of this likes to be on the. It kind of likes attention, but likes attention. I think it's important to a Leo to have the attention be kind of like positively perceived. Whereas I would say more maybe like, I'll just do this for myself because I'm a Cap, so I won't be bashing. I think like Cap energy is a little more, they might like attention, but they don't give a shit whether people are, whether it's positive attention or not, they're just going to do their thing. So this is emotional. So again, it's focused on you. Sextile is removing obstacles to Mercury's thoughts and communications in this diplomatic but cardinal sign. So fairness, but working through others' space. So I see, emotional things. I mean, again, I always like verbally think this through. So I apologize for this, guys. Moon in Leo. So I'm thinking this emotional, focus more on you and maybe what you need. It's going to eliminate, there's going to be obstacles eliminated where you're going to be able to like express those emotions, thoughts, and communications through other people to make you feel better. So this is a positive energy. This is you would kind of see kind of emotions aligning with your thoughts and interactions with others. So since I always give little names for these things, I'm going to call this is like the group hug dynamic on Friday. Kumbaya, have a little huddle.
Oh,
everybody's going to feel good.
It's so interesting because, again, I do this a month ahead. So then for my Gypsy tribe members, they get it a month ahead. You have this idea of what to do every day and break it down. And then each day I remind on my social media, people that follow me, kind of what's happening with the day. And that, of course, has been added and updated to and from these sessions where we collaborate and I hear your thoughts. And so I really get to kind of expand on it. What I already have written is that communication can be better and work on expressing yourself because it will be easier, and that you might feel diplomatic for others' issues, selfish about your needs, but empathetic about your wants.
Because I'll add, why I went with the group hug thing is, remember, this isn't a individual chart aspect. This is everybody. So your moon and Leo, so your emotions out through others, my emotions out through it. Like everybody's going to have this ability to connect well. And so that's why I'm feeling there'd be this kind of cool, everybody kind of feeling good vibe together. Yeah, kind of a kumbaya thing.
And this is a Friday. So the shadow work is why not? Why not? Well, why? I'll tell you why. Well, there may not be any reason why. It really is going to, again, as I see it in context, as we see it in context, as the great psychic sees it in context, you kind of get an idea of what people are going to do on Friday because of what happened on Thursday. And then we're going to kind of know what happened on Friday because we get an idea of what's going to happen on Saturday. And two things happen on Saturday. Ooh. And they're two, this is like a Kimbo slice, like a pow pow, like a 1-2-1. So it's Saturday. Just had a Friday. What's going to happen? The first thing that's going to happen, we wake up Saturday morning and Mars enters Scorpio. Yeah. Mars enters Scorpio. Mars the fight. The Mel Gibson enters Scorpio. Oh no, it's not just Botox. It's death. What is that going to be?
Well, first of all, Saturday will be Saturday's my anniversary, and it's actually falling on a Saturday. So that's
yay!
Cool.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. And so we're going to have action. So Mars is action, moving from diplomacy and balance to this emotional intensity. But where I go back on the Scorpio thing, I use the analogy of like a spy or James Bond, whereas some of the more fire signs, if they're going to act, you know what you see is what you're going to get because they're not going to care. Whereas the Scorpio energy, what you see isn't necessarily what you're going to get. So, people are going to be moving now kind of in line with their emotions, and kind of the emotions are going to feel very intense. So that's going to be this impulse to act, but it may not be out in the open. So much like under Libra, it was kind of working through others. So there could be some manipulation there. It's not necessarily working through it, but people are going to be acting, but they're maybe not. More of a poker face. It might not be showing.
Ooh, poker face, poker face.
Yeah. So there could be some, agendas getting played out that might be a little hidden. That's not bad. And again, this is applying to everybody. This energy applies to everyone. So
I'm had a You guys, I'm sure if you're joining us for the first time on Astrology and Alchemy and you are watching the dynamic between Matt and I and you see me having these moments, I am responding both to him, but then also you said poker face and that triggered Lady Gaga. And so then my brain started singing Lady Gaga. And then I was listening to you and like that voice in my brain, one of those spirit guides, one of those voices said, I mean, you can write down Lady Gaga, but that's not the song. The song is actually this. And like immediately a song comes on in my head, a completely different song, Concrete Blonde's cover of, what's the name of the song? Voice in the Sky. Concrete Blonde's, you know the dice is loaded.
Oh, I don't know if I know that one.
You know, everybody knows.
While you're thinking, I'm going to quick say this guy. Steph says Scorpio gives Mars more confidence. I could see that. Now I go just think of a spy. A spy has great confidence in what they are doing.
Up the volume.
So again, it's that, and I don't mean spy in anything.
I mean, like James Bond.
It's James Bond. It's
like Sean Connery.
It's that. It's intensity. It is intensity squared.
Ask you a question.
And you have to have confidence to have that level of intensity.
Yes, you do. To have a mustache like that, you have to have solutions to anything. Or maybe it's just a mustache.
The old guy says nothing happens in Pisces anymore. Well, there's nothing other than Neptune. When we get into Neptune, there isn't really anything in Pisces right now. So,
which is Neptune, and that's today. That shit's happening today and yesterday, which is nightmarish. So there is some.
Mm-hmm.
Why do people want that? I'm just kidding. I have the ritual work for that. Mars, you guys, anything that's action related, and you said it, Matt, that action, will, the energy to drive, intense passion, swords, blades, things like that. What protects you? Thinking about what shields you and how those words are used in magic and in a spiritual sense. But then don't forget, guys, 2 things happen on Saturday, October 30th. Not quite the last day, but the day right before Halloween. Oh my goodness. That night, Saturday night, and something else happens. And this is another move that, again, it kind of gives us so much information. And it is, dun, 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 that the sun is going to move into Scorpio. And that squares off with Saturn in Aquarius.
So we talked a lot about Scorpio. So sun's your outer, I view it as more your extroverted self, where, the moon's more your introverted emotional self. In this intensity area, square is actually when it's in your path and you have to deal with it. Saturn is rules, and Aquarius, this is one of those, there's a couple weird combos. Uranus and Taurus and Saturn and Aquarius I find very interesting because they're kind of opposites of each other. So Saturn and Aquarius, Saturn is rules, Aquarius is the rule breaker. So I view this energy as the opportunity to change the rules. So I see, so I'm just going to play it out. You have this intensity. I have my James Bond energy. I'm going to go ahead and start executing my plan. And somebody else jumps in and starts screwing with the rules and changing the rules. That totally changes the landscape of my plan and totally F's up my plan. So what I would say is be ready for some, normally I would say this for Uranus. So this is kind of like a Uranus vibe to me, is be ready for some weird curveball. So if you have some plan that you're going to do based on how you think things are going to work out on Saturday, be ready for some weird thing that's going to flip and like mess things up.
So again, it's so interesting.
Like I'm just going to do a dumb one because I'm thinking of my anniversary. So we have a whole thing set up at this restaurant, and I actually hide flowers ahead of time in the restaurant. And pull flowers out and go. And there's some big change and go, you know what? The thought of this food just makes me sick. We're going to go to this place instead. And we end up in a totally different place. It's that kind of stuff.
That would so happen to me. That kind of shit happens to me all the time. Good to know. So that kind of stuff is going to be happening. I have written down in my suggestions for the Gypsy tribe, boomerang, curveballs, braille, being able to see a burden coming or holding firm even though the rules change. Knowing your limitations and understanding that discipline, saying no, can actually lead to success. Right?
Mhm.
Right. And so this kind of gives us this idea of, okay, something Saturday, this is going to be, man, I think about in my life, it's probably going to be like fucking snowstorm. It's going to be a snowstorm right before Halloween. You know, we get everything all ready in our Halloween costumes and everything's good. Or it'll, you know, I'll plan for Halloween party last minute for family, and then everybody, you know, something will happen. It's inevitably that plan, something is going to shift, and it's going to be about moody possible responsibility, possible combination of having your cake and eating it too, and what that looks like in a physical metaphorical space for you. But as we know, guys, as we know, you get an idea of what that means for you Saturday by knowing Friday and Sunday. You kind of look at the sandwich things in your journal or on your calendar, already being like, oh, this is the day to not do this. Oh, okay, this is probably what this means, or this is what this means in my life. We know Sunday, which is also Halloween, right? This is exciting. So I'm going to share this in the chat so you guys can see it. So this is Sunday. Don't know what your guys' Halloween plans are. Share them in the chat room. If you guys are live, wherever you are joining us from, let us know if you're going to be trick-or-treating, what you're dressing up as. And then look up at the sky. You probably aren't going to see much but a sliver of that moon waning in Virgo. So the moon is waning in Virgo and it's trine. We talked about this and what this means, and it's fallen on Halloween, so you know that what's going to happen. Uranus and Taurus for Halloween. Matt and I have been talking about Uranus and Taurus and what that means. So how do you see this playing out?
All right. Well, favorite day of the year, I'm going to be at Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, which would be really cool with most of my kids. Not all of them want to go, so most of them will be with me. Moon in Virgo, so this is emotions. This is Virgo. I always think I's dotted, T's crossed. This is detail. This is analyzing things. This is making sure everything is taken care of. Very good attention to detail. So this is very detailed, specific emotions. In sync with Uranus is the curveball, but this is weird because Taurus is kind of Taurus is stable and indulgent, and Uranus is kind of that outside the box, rebellious, do something different. So they kind of don't match very well. So I see this as it's weird. I almost see it as the opposite of Saturn and Aquarius, even though these are the similar energies. I see this one as, I'm going to go ahead and rebel, but I'm going to rebel by not doing what I said I would do. So I almost see this as emotionally you want all those I's dotted and T's crossed, and the universe or another person is going to be, I know I typically do all these things, but F it, I'm not doing it today. And so this is going to be the day where the person that is never late for anything shows up an hour late and totally screws up your plans for the day.
I have to put that. He who is never late will be today. That's something to mention. And it really is. When I put that down and I think about, okay, that's going to happen on Sunday. It's going to happen for every single one of us. How's it going to pan out? Who's going to be late? Who are we talking about? That moon in Virgo, it's the feelings that we really do need to have that organized sense of, okay, it's Sunday, it's the last day of the month. Okay, it's Halloween. I got all this fucking shit I got to do. Okay, this. We're going to be feeling the inside, the moon, the inner, the yin, and that Virgo, which is an earth space, very, very, influential on other things going on. And the other things that are going on is Uranus, that, butthole of a planet that does whatever the hell it wants. And it's in Taurus, which is, all right. You ain't making Matthew McConaughey do shit that he doesn't want to do.
I see this as you spent the last month getting these nice coordinated outfits together for trick or treat. Your whole family is going to do all these nice, and one of your kids just decided that, I'm going to be this instead and took like scissors to it, or that's the energy that I'm talking about. That you have this whole thing nice, detailed, and all planned out, and somebody's going to come in and just F it up.
My kids do that every year, by the way. So every year, I usually don't even do the costume until the week before, because every year they change their mind right up until the week before. And I've learned my lesson. And then this year it's been consistent. And then I go to order it and you can't find it anywhere and you can't get the things anywhere. And so that's where we're at. That's how it works. So here we are. And it's panning out just like the astrology says it would. We knew that. We knew that. So that's Sunday. Then we wake up. Monday. And it's Monday. It's a whole new day. It's a whole new month. And what the heck is going to be happening? Well, Mercury still direct in Libra, which, take it or leave it. But it is going to be, and we're sharing this, trine Jupiter in Aquarius on Monday morning. So this is news. Something happened.
And I'm always sad to see Halloween season go away. So that's why I kind of went, I have nothing against November, but I'm always sad to see October go away. So this is, again, that thoughts and communication, diplomatic thoughts and communication, wanting to be fair and balanced thoughts and communication, having synergy with that wild card pulling up, giving you an opportunity to do something different, break the rules, think outside the box, do something innovative. So, this could be, and since Mercury and Libra, it's really through other people and stuff. I see this as, this could be getting offers to do something new or different. It's weird that it's on a Monday, so it's not a day that I would normally see that, but this could still be like hey, do you want to go do this, or do you want to go do that? And so.
Right. Well, and I do see it as Monday. It's the first of the month. So this is going to be like, I kind of see, because Jupiter is gimme more, and Aquarius is rules. I get that office space, like, yeah. So we're going to ask you to come on in this weekend. And so it is going to be more money. It is going to be more opportunity. But if you want to sidestep it, or you have to say no, no, I don't think I'm gonna, because I don't want to. You have to kind of be prepared in that Mercury space, almost as in Libra. I think about, I've already told so-and-so that, I wouldn't be on my best behavior. So sorry. And it's like, you can play it, or you can maneuver through it by way of Libra. But I feel like if you take the opportunity, because Jupiter's in Aquarius, wherever the shift is happening, growth is also happening. So it is more money, it's more opportunity, and you're going to see somebody that day that's like, oh, shit, haven't seen you in forever. Yeah, I'm only here on Saturdays. Oh, no shit, I never work Saturdays. Oh, okay. And it's like, oh, yeah, well, you should join my fantasy football. We've got, oh my gosh. And then you win a bunch of money. Or like, it's just going to be something fortuitous in that way, because that's kind of how Jupiter works. Jupiter is just kind of random that way. Like, Chris Farley. You can't really predict it, other than that it's just going to expand. It's going to want more. And so I see it in that way.
I think Aquarius too. I always think of Men in Black with Will Smith when they're all trying to like fill out that thing, and then he finally like screw it. He goes over and grabs that table and drags it, and everyone else is like that's the Aquarius. I'm just going to drag a table to do it. And then you want to think about the Jupiter thing, because I did that. Now I have this huge opportunity that, life altering. I run around like blanking the minds of people that see little aliens running around. Stuff. So I mean, it's Jupiter's opportunity, and Aquarius is kind of thinking outside the box, and so
good things could happen. So I'm not worried about Monday. I think it's going to be a good day. And after Halloween, why not? We're going to have extra candy in our pocket, hopefully not a bellyache, so just moderation. But then we kind of get an idea of how Monday is going to work because then it'll be sandwiched by Tuesday. And it'll be a full week from today. It's my dad's birthday, November 2nd. And we're coming up on the 4th of November, remember. And just, it's a great time of year. Scorpios, happy birthday. And on Tuesday, Mercury will still be in Libra direct, but then, Pluto in Capricorn.
Well, here's a weird one. My dad's birthday is today, so we are 2 different Tuesdays. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, kind of, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Anyway, okay, Mercury in Libra, square Pluto. So again, squares in your face, so you have to deal with it. We again have this thoughts and communication, diplomatic, all is. So this is again, I'm trying to think of a good analogy for this because I see this as you have this wonderful plan and you have everything all lined out. You have everybody on the same page. And then kind of Pluto, who doesn't give a shit, is just going to come in and like dump, throw a stink bomb in the middle of it and just totally blow the whole thing up. And you have people fighting and people. So this is your plans are going to get screwed up on Tuesday. So if you're trying to like coordinate like teamwork or a team thing or get a whole bunch of people together, be ready for some big event that's going to like just screw the thing up. So I just have an analogy, you're doing some kind of like fall picnic and you have everybody all aligned, everybody's going to do it. And then out of nowhere, a storm comes a day early or something and it's cold and like all the people are like, screw it, I'm just staying home. Sorry, and just.
Well, and here's the deal. I'm just going to say this. I'm just going to be honest. Let's just be real. Pluto lately. What have you done for me lately? Ooh, yeah. You remember that from the 90s? It was Janet Jackson. That was her first album. Man, that is how Pluto has been. It's been pulling shit from 2003, 2009, and 2012. Mark my words, listeners. And like a cat in a litter box and pulling up all of this stuff. And it's Pluto way back there going, yeah, I know y'all forgot about me out here, but how you like that old ass shit? like, remember me? And it is. Pluto is the redheaded stepchild. And so you can't ignore it. It's a humble reminder. It's an instigator. It's an influential thing. And in Capricorn, it's slow, painful growth. Ugh. It's pulling a tapeworm out of your butt 1 inch at a time for 27 days. It's just agony. It's slow agony.
And it's like, if you see anything, I'm just going to use an analogy I did with, or a story I did with my sons once, but I'm trying to think of a good now. It's if you know something is going to happen and you see these people that are clueless, like going down this path and you're like, they have no idea. That's kind of Pluto, So the Mercury and Libra, these people doing this thing, and Pluto's the one back there. They have no idea what's just about to happen.
Gotcha.
So what I did once with my kids is they always would watch stuff they weren't supposed to watch. And so I came home and it was Twilight Zone marathon. I come home from work. They meet me at the door and their eyes are really big. And they're like, we were watching Twilight Zone and we knew we probably shouldn't watch Twilight Zone, but there was something about this monster under the bed. Now we're afraid there's a monster under our bed and we're really, really scared. So me being dad of the year, I take them to the bottom of the steps and I'm like, no problem. I'm like, you guys go up to the top of the steps. One goes in the room. One stays in the doorway. One, go in the room and look under the bed. If you get sucked under the bed, yell and I'll come up and save you. Okay. So they're going up the steps, tied together. So that's Mercury and Libra going up the steps. They're going up the steps. They turn in the corner. Once they both turn and don't see me anymore, I go on the wall and go, and they go airborne out of the room. Ah! And so I'm like, Now you know not to watch. It didn't. The lesson didn't stick. Like, now you know not to watch what you're supposed to watch. That's Pluto and Capricorn. Pluto and Capricorn is the watching this whole thing go. They have no idea. They have no idea. They have no idea, and then they throw the thing in there and totally screw up what the Mercury and Libra energy thought they were going to do.
If
now,
you
hang on. Let me mute here.
And he's multitasking, and I'm eating M&Ms. Keep in mind, you got to laugh through it. And Pluto in Capricorn is good energy. It is good energy. But Libra, sorry if you have misophonia. It's M&Ms. Halloween candy. The diplomacy of it means that there is, in essence, other people coming in or out from the past in that space where it's like, man, that Leo vibe where people are feeling empowered and all this opportunity, the jerk back into some of the history is going to just kind of be stretching us. There's going to be a lot of flexibility required. And this is not a paid advertisement. But somebody was like, is that real? Are those M&Ms or are you taking something else? Like, no, this is my drug of choice. Actually, sugar. Give it to me. Anyway, yeah, I just am, I don't know, Tuesday. We don't need you. Not this next Tuesday. I'm just going to call my dad, wish him happy birthday. It's going to be Taco Tuesday. That's going to be great.
You know what your curveball is going to be? Is you're going to be on the show.
Oh no, I'm going to be by myself.
That's your Pluto curveball. Is I won't be here.
That's right. Yes, that's exactly. And we already kind of do that though, not just because we're psychic, but because we also know. And I know how I'll feel about it, which is going to be Mercury and Libra. That's okay. I can still do it, and I'm just going to play a second version of myself. I might even have like a lamb chop. Maybe I could do that. Probably not, but I mean I could, but I won't. I mean we could, but we shouldn't. You know what I mean? So I won't do that. But you have to be sure and join us. And it's already 10 o'clock, so we made it. And it'll be a full week from today, and that'll be next week, Tuesday, every Tuesday. Because that's how we do the show, guys. It's every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central, and it's Astrology and Alchemy with me and Matt, Paranormal Sarah, Matthew Slozer. And Matt, we've kind of been sharing all throughout the night all the different places that you can find us. But where might people be able to contact you if they'd like a private reading or to get a hold of us? Where shall they go?
Well, you can message the Astrology and Alchemy Facebook page. You can look me up on Autumn Moon Astrology on Facebook as well. You can email me at mslozer@yahoo. And Paranormal Sarah has her own website, paranormalsarah.com. I got that right, correct?
It's true. That's what it is.
So you can look us up on any of those. And we will go back and we're going to do card readings again in the future as well, because that went over really well.
It was so much fun. And people really enjoyed it. And then also, guys, don't forget to sign up for all the notifications and subscriptions. It doesn't cost anything or anything like that. And then that way, whenever we do start to offer our workshops and our giveaways and some of our really cool additional podcasts and shows that are going to be expanding throughout the end of the year, that you don't miss a single session or cool thing. You don't want to miss it. And you guys, please don't leave me hanging next week. Join me if you can. I will do my very best to talk as much as Matt and I do and to give you as much astrology know-how. I'm going to have to really prepare. But yeah, join me here next week. It'll be a show where Matt's on vacation, sending us telepathic messages. And we're here watching Sarah string you along for a week of astrology and alchemy here every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central.
I'll just add real quick too. However you're watching this, subscribe or give it a like. Those pesky algorithms all look at that kind of stuff. So if you enjoy it, please give us the thumbs up because it helps.
Wherever it's at, wherever that little button is.
Wherever you're at, however you found us.
Click it And let us know. And always give us your feedback, too. We'd love to hear from you guys. Send us a message. And if you want a reading, you know where to find us. Otherwise, see you next Tuesday.
See ya.